Oh, well, the fires in the North Bay here in San Francisco in the U.S. are still burning. I haven't heard of any new structures burning, but there are new evacuations underway. Now I can see. So, let's go on with today's subject. Are humans getting more intelligent or stupider? Let's go over to the board and I'll show you some thoughts I had of what we could talk about. So the ones I wanted to talk about was denialism, war to solve problems, and willful ignorance. Willful ignorance. So what brought this on was that I've had commenters in the past, both this video, other videos, comments I put out on the net, where most of the commenters are pretty intelligent. You know, they continue on with the discussion, you know, they either agree or disagree, but they always use science or some numbers or at least a link or something to support their side. Every now and then you get these people that come on that, wow, you just think, are humans getting smarter or dumber? Now, when you present a human with information, that's a good thing, and they should store that if they can, because later on they might be able to use that. The more information stored up here, the better your life will be. It just happens that way. You know how to get out of bad situations. But what about denialism? Why did denialism take on such a big thing these years? I mean, you can see it whenever a ship goes down in the ocean. You have this group that has denialism, and they stay with the ship even as it's going underwater, because they believe by just denializing it, saying it isn't going to happen, that it just won't happen. Denializing it. That's probably one of my biggest pet peeves, is denialism. And another one is the war to solve problems. How in the hell can we think that dropping a nuclear bomb on North Korea is going to solve anything? Man, that's going to make every single thing worse. Your food is going to be irradiated for several years. You're going to get radioactive poisoning in your body, and you're going to become probably cancerous and maybe even die within a few years. If they drop multiple bombs, we're going to go into a nuclear winter. But the orange man just can't keep his mouth shut about we're in the calm of the storm. I'm like everybody else. Hasn't the entire Trump White House been in the storm? Isn't it the storm? And the last thing I wanted to talk about was willful ignorance. I put an example there on the board showing a Neanderthal talking about the flat earth. And yet there are people out there that believe in the flat earth. And the only way you could do that is by throwing away all science, all the educators, all the professors, and come up with some scheme of your own. Now, I admit the one that they've come up with, the standard model of flat earth, is interesting, but it's purely just fantasy. You know, there isn't a single person who's found the end of the earth. They say we'll soon find it. What do you mean we'll soon find it? We've got satellites. If there was an end, we would have found it a long time ago, and we would have been able to find what's underneath the planet Earth, if it is flat. Nobody's been underneath the planet Earth. So my thoughts are IQ scores are going higher throughout the world. But that IQ test is only for modern day humanity who lives in cities and towns and that type of thing. But there's other IQ. Wonder if you live in a forest and you have to make a living off of what you hunt or grow in the forest, and you took a standard IQ test, you'd fail it. So IQ is it depends on what you're in and where you're at and how much you know about all that. That's the true IQ. Such as a homeless person. Would you be able to live on the streets of a city for years without any income? No bed, no shower, no source of clean water? Unbelievable, but yet we do it. But if we were to take, most people were to take an IQ test for a street person, I think we'd fail miserably, vice versa. So, as has been asked so many times, are humans becoming smarter or dumber? Your comments down below. This one ought to be good. So we had a night without any smoke. Well, smaller amounts of smoke than we've had in 3 days, so it didn't seem like there was any smoke. I'm just now smelling it. I think it's returning because today is supposed to be the beginning of a 3-day windy period, which couldn't be anything worse for these fires. So evacuations are now underway for more areas in Sonoma and Napa County. These next couple days, if you live in California, keep an eye out on the weather and the situation around you. That's all I can say.
So it's very easy. Maybe in our world here to live.
So, until next time.